Hi friends, good morning. I'm sure all of you are doing well. Well, into this video, I have something which is exciting for you. As the video ends, I'm sure you will learn something which I have. So this is a video which I am basically sharing with all of you. Well, into this video, coming back to it, I would like you to know that this video is all about words and phrases which are basically mistaken. When you speak in English, there are certain grammatical usage, or else let's say the rules of using that language are specified in this mannerism that it goes correct when you express them in the correct form. Well, so into this word and phrase list which I have for you all, I will probably talk about the correct usage of them. So, well, let's begin instead of wasting time. Now, let's talk about what needs to be avoided, because these are the phrases or the words which basically are spoken, but then all of us are mostly unaware of the correct usage. I am here to basically talk and correct them for all of you. Beginning with cope up. By the ways, you never cope up with someone, you cope with someone. So logically, if I had to put it this way, that she and I are not coping up with each other, that's a wrong ways of expression. I would rather say she and I are not coping well. That's enough as a sentence. So we don't use cope up as a phrase. The word or the phrase which is correctly used here is cope with or cope, that's all, or coping well in a way. So that's how we never use cope up, we use cope with. Okay, next, many a times. Either it is said many times I have told you not to do this. That's a common ways or common sentence which we basically talk of. But it's always many a time or many times. So either I chuck out the S here in this particular phrase or use many times. Many times it has been told to you and you don't adhere to whatever is said. That's how it goes correct. Alright, I'm sure you're enjoying it. Well, hold on, there are more. Okay. Anyways, it's been long, but I should leave. So if this be a sentence with the usage of this particular word, it's always anyway, not anyways. So that's where if I had to talk about this particular usage of word, it would rather be anyway, I have to leave. It's time. Anyway, we need to go our own ways. So that is where I use this word without an S. Alright? Or you can probably say anyway is the correct usage of the word. Okay. Now, coming to the next one, you need not to. Well, the word to is in extra. Usage of it is only because people are ignorant or all of us are ignorant. When you have this knowledge, in a way, gyan, that is where we basically would rather use the gyan or the knowledge which we have, right? So, well, you need not work on it. In a way, you need not to work on it is is exactly wrong in a way. So you need not work on whatever is given to you, maybe because you're not keeping well. Well, that is what I wanted to talk of. Okay, one more common error, often mentioned by many of the people. I've heard people talking about it. Well, one of it is revert back or reply back. Can you reply back to me? Or maybe, sir or madam, I'd revert back to you. In a ways, is a wrong expression. In English, if you are using this particular language, need to be adhering to the rules. Now, when I talk about adhering, it's just that instead of revert, we, as in when you talk about this expression, you just work out with the word and not the phrase. So it's only revert. Why? Because revert is in itself back. Reply in itself is back. So we need not use the word with the word as a revert. We need not use word as back with revert or reply. So the only specific way of expressing is it, let me revert to you tomorrow morning. with a male. That is how one would want to express. Okay. Okay. The next one, give an exam. Often it is said or often it is mentioned that I'm going to give an exam. I have my exam, I'm going to give it. Logically, give an exam is basically when you are an invigilator. You're going to inspect the examination. But as a student or as a candidate, which you are basically, or maybe like if you're sitting for some competitive examinations, you would rather say I am taking an examination instead of giving an examination. As I said, give an exam or giving an exam is only associated with people, those who are invigilating it. Logically, they are going to be judging it. So when you are not a judge, when you are not an invigilator, you basically take an exam as a candidate. Okay. The next one is called as, appointed as. So this gentleman or this lady has been appointed as the principal, as the prime minister. Okay, fine. We all have been using it. But there is just a small little error, and the error basically is the usage of the word as with appointed or called. It's only that you probably are ignorant of. But when you are now aware of, I would want you to understand one thing, that when we talk about this particular ways or put it into a sentence as an expression like this particular person has been appointed the prime minister is the correct expression. Alright? Why? Because we are now using as, or in other ways, if I had to make a sentence on this, the lady is called the Nightingale of India. That's just an expression. But then what am I trying to share with you is the usage of as has been dropped. Okay? Alright. Now, coming to this. I have my marriage anniversary on this particular day. I have to visit my friend as he's throwing a party for all of us because it is his marriage anniversary. Often heard. I'm sure you might have probably uttered this particular phrase in your own ways. But when I talk about marriage anniversary, point please note is marriage is a word which basically expresses relationship. But when I talk about event, when I have this particular word anniversary, I am basically talking about the date or the event. So that is where I'd rather use instead of marriage anniversary, because marriage refers to a relationship and anniversary is not referring to the relationship, it only refers to an event. So that's where I use wedding anniversary. That's correct. Okay, so remember, it's always that I have my wedding anniversary, I have to attend a party because it is their wedding anniversary. So wedding anniversary is one particular phrase which we should be aware of in as its usage. Okay, next is be rest assured. The logic is we just have to check out the word rest. Be assured is in itself an affirmation of an expression that is in itself complete as a phrase. So be rest assured that I'll be there with you. Well, it's already only that you need to work it out this way, that be assured that I'll be there with you. Now the only expression here is that the word rest is not required. That's where we would probably like to use it in a more affirmative manner. And what is the most affirmative manner into it is be assured. That sounds more positive, that sounds more better. Alright, so well, it's not based on sound, but it's based on concepts. And when we talk about the concept, be assured in itself makes a phrase which is affirmative. That's all. Okay, the next one. Take out the value of X. We often do the needful calculations and we basically add, subtract in a way. When we are doing our accounts, when we are basically talking about what are we planning, investing and stuff like that, we probably want to talk or share about our accounts. Well, when we are talking about certain calculations, we should probably use the word calculate instead of take out. Well, take out in physical aspect is pulling out or bringing out something. But when we are talking about just calculating it in reference to addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and stuff like that, that is where we would rather use calculate the value of x. That is much better. So we always calculate it, we don't take it out. Okay. Next, she did mistake. She did mistake or she made mistake. Well, let me put it this way. Mistakes are always made. Alright. So we basically talk of the word or the verb which is used as make, made, made, making. So always remember the word mistake. The word mistakes sits with a verb which again is an associative or a easy verb which is always referring to make. So one makes a mistake. Alright. So that's where did as a verb will not be associated with the verb make or with mistake. That's where we say she or he made a mistake. Makes mistakes often. Well, so that's where I would rather use it in a sentence and put it like this, that these guys have basically a habit of making mistakes on a regular basis. So making, I'm not saying doing mistakes, it's always make. Okay, years ago, let me put it this way. Ago as a word, when associated with years, I am referring to something in the past till present. So if I had to express years ago, I am referring to something, an action which was in the past but till this particular time. So when I have years ago, I'd rather say something in association in the past but till now it's in present. But if I say years back, if I say years back, I am referring to something in the past but it stayed in the past, in the current past, alright, or maybe in some time back, from the very future in a way. I'm so sorry, from the very past, from the very past till the current past. That is what is understood by years back. Okay, the second last is very interesting. When I talk about someone's dressing sense, that is where I'm making a little or a slight error. But if I talk about someone's dress sense, that is what is correct, because I am aware of the language and the phrase used in the language. So the second last phrase, what I want to share here is, it's always dress sense, not dressing sense. Alright, so your dress sense seems cool, your dress sense is apt. That is how one would want to compliment someone. So I would rather want you to understand that if you use them, you should use them in a way that you are an authority. So use these phrases and words with authority. You will surely be going good in your life and be able to impress others. Last but not the least, when I talk about comprise of, I am just talking about comprising. That's enough. So when I talk about this particular thing, that the syllabus comprises with or comprises English, Hindi, social, science, mathematics in a way. So that is where I would chuck out the word, I'll drop the word of. Instead of which, I'd probably talk of it comprises. Of needs to be restrained. So well, my friends, I'm sure with these words and phrases, your usage in the language with them would be more stronger. Enjoy my videos. See you next time. Thank you.